If you have too much of you and not enough of God in it, what are we doing? So when somebody, and it's evident when somebody gets up, especially in a church, it don't have to be in a church, but you're all in self and you're not trying to actually give the people God. You just want to give them you and then get praise for it. But the praise is supposed to be to God in Christian hip hop.
I feel like that's where a lot of people don't really understand. When we take something that doesn't belong to us, it becomes a burden. And all praise is due to God.
Yeah.
All glory is due to God.
This is James Rosseau, a.k.a. Trig, and let me welcome you to the Core Solutions Show. So let's do this. For each of you, what's one thing you can share with our audience that most people don't know about you? Like even people closest to you, like Marcus Hall, would say, I never knew that about Jared.
Oh, man.
I could say something about myself.
Okay.
So one thing that most people don't, well, I guess my close family know this about me, is that I love cartoons.
Which cartoons?
So I grew up watching my father's favorite cartoon,
Which is?
Tom and Jerry.
Okay, yeah. Standards.
Just the standard Looney Tunes, all of the stuff, Popeye, the black and white one, like even Betty Boop, like
Gotcha.
stuff like that. I love a bunch of classic stuff because I just got into, I don't know.
Do you still watch them now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Regularly.
it's like when you cleaning up and you just want to put something on or something like that. If it ain't music, it's gonna be some cartoons just going on in the background.
So all your
Mostly
fan base
because
right
of
now is like,
the classical music.
you're
that's
not
in it.
listening to devotionals and stuff while you're cleaning up? Are you telling me?
I
you
said
watching
besides music.
You watching them secular cartoons?
I got Looney Tunes going in the background.
People thinking right now, is that okay? Is that, you know how we are. Is that okay?
It's a thing, but
I mean, don't Tom try to hurt Jerry? And you enjoying it?
When you watch it as an adult, you're like, why was I watching this as a kid? But it was just all in it.
You know what's so
But you
funny?
still watch it as an adult.
I
It's
know.
almost like I remember every episode. Like I remember when Tom did the where he was singing "Is You Is" or "Is You Ain't"
Yeah.
My baby, right?
My baby.
Or when the dude come on singing Chrombo, I broke my string. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember all of those. That's like 20 plus years
a
old.
ham bone.
Exactly, Crambo. How about you? What people say they didn't know that?
Now, I know, man, there's certain people I hope aren't watching for what I'm about to say.
That's an interesting precursor.
Because people like to ask for things. So people kind of know my wife cooks,
Right.
especially bakes. Marcus is a frequent
Partaker.
of Davina's baking.
What can I ask real quick? What do you bake? Like, what's your specialty?
Pound cake. Any pound cake. I need you to understand. Pineapple upside down pound cake.
I know you didn't drive all the way down
Peach cobbler
down
pound
here
cake.
from New York and didn't bring.
I'm sorry.
Are you serious? You came all the way. I'm taking your T-shirt back.
So I guess what people wouldn't know is I'm a cook.
Yeah.
Really? What do you cook?
Yeah. When it comes to protein, like anything, like I can oxtail, your favorite steak, chicken, like any type of protein.
Nice.
I get busy.
Max is our resident cook.
Okay.
Max is a foodie and a cook, man. Don't sleep on Max.
You gotta go
Nah,
out.
Yes, man.
Jared cooks well. He cooks well, and it's like he pays so much detail, like attention to detail with cooking. I'm like, why your rice tastes better than mine? Like
Wow.
stuff like that. So
When did you start cooking? Like what got you into it? What made you so interested in it?
Dating the wrong woman.
Wow. Wow, that's a clip. That is a clip right there. Mark this one. That's a clip.
Before my wife, while I was courting, there were some women who maybe didn't know how to cook.
That's
best,
hilarious.
So things had to be done and things had to be learned.
You know what's so hilarious about it too? Because when you go on Facebook, Troy Edwards is really good at this, posting those posts where women have demands for their first date and whatnot. Like, he knows I have to get ready and I have to get my nails and hair done. He should give me money for that before the date. It's like, hold up, but you're going on your first date. So you're saying he should, as a part of setting up the first date scene?
First
yes.
date? No.
I mean, so some of the demands, so this is funny to me on the other side of it to say, well, wow, I've experienced enough that I had to start cooking.
I had to start cooking.
So with the first person you were with and you started cooking all of a sudden, what was her reaction?
it was like, oh, well, the first person I was with that started cooking because my college girlfriend didn't know how to cook.
Yeah.
And that's when I started experimenting,
Mm.
like, basic things that people start with, salmon and stuff like
Right,
that.
right.
And she would eat it, but she'd be like, but then like a few years later, once I get to that relationship, she was like, oh my goodness, I'm making wings. Like I have these spicy wings I make that are, see,
I'm going to start changing this whole process. Jake, take a note. We need to start asking people some of these things before they come so they can bring stuff with. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to start asking people, bring a sample, whatever you talk about. If you make clothes, bring a sample. If you cook, bring a sample. If whatever you do, if you knit, bring a sample.
Listen, we got you
Whatever.
next time we see you.
Yeah,
Man,
next time I'm going to have to bring a cake.
All right, good. So then let me ask you this. Your moniker, or yours, the statement you like to say a lot, born in the hood but raised in the church, how's that shaped you? Like, what made that bubble to the top as kind of your tagline?
Because it's truly, I think the Lord put me in a place where, I know the Lord put me in a place where I experience both sides to the max.
Gotcha.
So when it comes to church, I said Jesus was in my heart when I was 2. My mother loves telling that story. I took the pacifier out of my mouth and said, Jesus is in my heart. So like I've been saved since I can remember. I've been in church since young, and my mother was an evangelist, but we lived in the hood. So at the same time, when I would go to church and it would be revival all week, but then the very next morning I'm in the hood getting in the fights because I can't get beat up. So it's like at the same token, I'm singing in the choir, I'm leading the choir stand. I go back to the hood and somebody's messing with my family and we gotta go have a fight or whatever the case may be. Like I have drug dealing cousins and family members and friends, but on this side I have preaching cousins and families and friends.
Right.
And I understood and literally experienced both sides to high degrees. And as I gotten older, coming out of it, I was like, well, the Lord wanted this for a reason. It shaped me in a way.
Yeah.
And it's enabled me, I feel, with Christian hip hop especially, to be a bridge, to be able to reach both from one side to the other and show people who the Lord is in that way.
That's good. How have people, because we know this happens to all of us, right? So we progress, our journey progresses. Sometimes other people's journey don't progress, right? And so they see you later and they hear this tagline of yours. What's the reaction from some of your old homies who, like you said, you were throwing down in the streets. You were like, listen, I accepted Christ, but don't let that fool you.
No,
right?
100%. You know what's crazy is the street shows me more love than Christian hip hop.
Say more.
So
yeah.
So, no, it's 100% fact.
So
if I go back to the hood right now, they've already heard the album. They quote the songs to me. The respect they give me as a man of God is so different than Christian hip hop in that regard.
Why do you think that is?
I think because the ones that I grew up with in the hood that I was in and the people that I knew, because they knew who I was then and I was still this person.
Right.
But I've walked into my calling, so they respect it rather than, because I'm not faking the funk. I'm not being someone different.
Right.
I truly just walked into who I was.
Got it.
So their respect for that is immense.
It's crazy.
That's good. They're looking at they see the whole walk.
Meanwhile, in Christian hip hop, we have a lot of babes in Christ or people who recently got saved who were rapping secular or something. And I was too, but I always knew who the Lord was. And then, got saved, and thank God they did, and now they're using their gift for the Lord.
Gotcha.
They don't have the born in the hood, raised in the church. They were born in the hood, but they weren't raised in the church a lot of times.
Gotcha.
So they don't, the dichotomy of it is, I don't think really hits them the way it does the hood, who is looking for the Lord or knows they need something else. And then I'm able to be that light, biblically speaking, for them.
Now, Lady Divina, you're originally from Cali.
Yeah.
And
area.
Hey.
And traveling on the road with your sisters, the Boyd sisters, who again, I'm so glad to now have seen some of your history. What's it been like for you in terms of transitioning to the Christian hip hop space, if you will, like, and particularly with the experience you've had of traveling with a gospel group?
Yeah. So, with Christian hip hop and gospel, it actually, for me, as far as energy goes, well, it's different. It's different. Singers can be, let me see how I can put this. traveling around, you get positive energy and you get negative energy. Right? When you're an artist, it's inevitable.
Did you like touring, just in general?
I actually never knew anything other than it.
From what age?
4.
Wow. So you've been touring most of your life.
3, 4, yeah. So as soon as I was born, 'cause I have 2 older sisters. They're 5 and 7 years older than me. And when I was born, my dad was like, "Oh, we got a 3rd sister group." So
if he had 2 more, they would have been the Boyd 5.
Yeah, right. Seriously, and it sounds like Dad was like their dad. Y'all getting to work.
My dad was a musician. He played for a lot of bands. He played and he played in church.
Gotcha.
Too. But he also had to take care of his family. So he played in secular bands to feed his family. Unfortunately, our church that we was at in the beginning didn't like the fact that he did secular music. And
gotcha.
I just want to shout out the Whispers. He played for the Whispers.
He played for the Whispers.
Yes.
That's what's up.
My dad played for the Whispers. He toured.
Were they the ones who did Rubber Band Man? Is that
Rocksteady?
Rocksteady.
And
yeah,
he goes on.
Yes.
So he played for them for years, and so I've always known music and touring and things like I would fall asleep in studios as a baby, things like that. So when me and my sisters were singing, we were always ministering at different churches and traveling across California. Then we started getting invited out to different states and doing conferences and things like that. So it was a normal part of life for me. Even different personalities, being surrounded by different personalities as a child and growing up. It was very interesting. So coming over to Christian hip hop, it was familiar when you see a spiritual person, certain spirits.
Right.
Okay, that's that person. I get what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's easy to navigate, but then you have and this is the part that I don't like really with Christian hip hop is the secular rapper's mentality of competition.
A lot of secular energy.
Yeah,
I feel like Davina's not being completely honest.
Okay.
Oh, well, let's be honest then. I mean,
because
come
she's
on.
not telling you that she never liked Christian hip hop.
Okay, I was gonna.
Oh, she never liked it.
I was gonna get there.
Oh,
Thank you,
we
baby.
gotta take a detour. Let's come back.
Thank you, baby. We're gonna come back. So now, when I was in church and singing and stuff, you will have Christian rappers that will come to the church. Right. Now, a lot of Christian rappers have this thing where, the church don't accept me. Right. Well, I was in the church when a lot of Christian rappers was coming.
Right.
And it was more of an energy like, because I'm rapping, you guys should accept me, or because I'm doing something for Christ,
Got it.
you guys should just automatically accept me, even though I'm bad.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And even though my message isn't saying anything, but I used to be, in the streets, but I'm saved now.
Right.
And that's it.
Right.
So and shout out to those, if that's just your testimony, I get it. And you probably touched a lot of people with it, I'm pretty sure. But it's just the in the background, if you're talking like the church don't accept me. No, they opened their doors to you.
Right.
They came. Now what they received, they may not have accepted all the way, but that's a growing part for you, not them.
Right. So now having transitioned over, so you saw at one point being kind of still on the gospel side, people coming to my church. Now that you're on this side in the community, what advice do you give people in terms of trying to change their perspective on that? Minister.
It's not about you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, your music is what am I trying to say? A vehicle. Thank you for helping to bring people to Christ. If you have too much of you and not enough of God in it, what are we doing?
Come on.
So and it's evident when somebody gets up, especially in a church, it don't have to be in a church, but you're all in self and you're not trying to actually give the people God. You just want to give them you and then get praise for it. But the praise is supposed to be to God in Christian hip hop.
Right.
I feel like that's where a lot of people don't really understand. When we take something that doesn't belong to us, it becomes a burden. And all praise is due to God. All glory is due to God. So even in the secular industry, you wonder why they're addicts, why they die so early, why so many things are happening. It's because they're literally taking something that doesn't belong to them. And that comes with so many extra things. And in this space, we should definitely know better than to take on take glory away from the person we're trying to give it to.
That's good. Your history explains a lot in terms of, like I was saying to you guys before we started. I really enjoy your sets when you guys minister. Seen you at KCA's twice, and both times just enjoyed it. And your track record and history explains your comfortability. You seem so comfortable on stage and have such great stage presence. You know, we already know this, bro. He just comes out. When you have on those, sometimes you have on that
the dashiki.
The dashiki. I'm like, I can just see the silhouette. I don't even need to totally see you. When I see the dashiki coming down and the braids, I'm like, that's AllStar right there. How did you two meet? And I want to start with Lady Divina.
Ooh.
Tell
the story
right.
Tell the story right.
Look, okay. So being in California, I would listen to, a lot of preaching and stuff. I was going to my church. I was, singing praise and worship. And I was going to this conference in Florida. And I went by myself. Couldn't nobody go with me or nothing like that. I was like, I got free, I got flights and all that stuff. They was like, nah, we can't go. Like, okay, Lord, I got to go by myself. I ended up going. And when I went, this guy ended up on stage. And I'm like, okay. And he was like, the preacher, it was his father's conference. So his father was like, my son's about to come up and preach. And rap. And I'm like, oh, Lord, here go another Christian rapper. Here we go, So
this is all facts.
I was texting my sisters like, this
that is funny.
Christian rapper. Y'all watching? They was watching online.
Another one.
Yeah. So he got up there and he did one of his songs, Full Gospel, off of Water and Wine. And I was listening to the words and the beat was nice. And I'm like, okay, it came on. And then he was rapping and he was actually spitting like what I listened to at home in my room, So I was like, I had to tell him he was nice. Because I had bagged Christian rappers for so long because I was tired of them. And
the
don't
first
get me
one
wrong,
you see that you like.
The Bay Area got some good Christian rappers.
Right.
But it was others that was, it was like, are you tired of it, So he got up there and I was like, at the end, I was like, hey, you were really good. You wouldn't introduce
yourself.
Yeah.
She did. Now the part that she's not saying. Okay, so
yes, let's get your view. What'd you say?
My father is Prophet Todd Hall. So he has these big extravagant conferences. And I hadn't went for years. So this year I went, and I actually went with another lady. So we got there, and she did. She approached me. She said hello to my other lady. It was like, nice to meet you. She wasn't kind to her at all. No. And then she walks up to me, and I smile, and she shakes my hand, and she actually buys my song, my single for me, the download card. She buys download cards, more than one. I think you bought like 2.
Yeah, because I wanted to.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, thank you. And I had acknowledged her presence because they had put her in the praise team, and she was wearing this yellow dress, and she was the singer.
Hold on a second. Let me just back up a second. Did you say, and she wasn't kind to her? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
Well, the thing is, we're not going to stay on this too long.
What is
his girlfriend at the time, or the lady that was with him at the time,
right?
While he was, giving out and speaking to the people, he's such a people person. She was sitting off on the side looking angry, but I introduced myself. I was like, hi, how are you doing? She was like, hi.
Oh, got you.
So
I'm with Jared.
But
I guess so.
that's how she was acting. But we noticed all of that. Yeah. So the crazy part was I actually broke up with her. Say we left that conference Friday, me and that girl went together by Sunday.
Because Lady Divina broke y'all up.
No,
because you were peeping her in the yellow.
No.
Listen, y'all both peep. I'm paying attention to the story. I'm paying attention. Okay, you said you finally saw a Christian rapper you like. You said you were seeing her in the yellow.
So go ahead. We both acknowledged each other, but wasn't the reason. It was a whole nother reason. And then that was in October, the end of October.
Yeah.
Come December, Christmas, because I like to drop projects on Christmas. This is what happens. I dropped Water and Wine, the first one. And she messaged me on Instagram. And she was like, this album is hard, da, 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 tells me the
What
song.
year is
She's
this?
like, 2018.
2018, okay.
The end of 2018. She's like, I love this song. This, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
And then I kind of flirted back. I guess I did that. But she didn't know I wasn't in a relationship because I put away my old relationship quietly. I'm not a messy person.
Sure.
So,
well, you weren't married, right?
No.
Okay.
No,
right.
but
Just
still,
dating.
it didn't
Courting.
need to be. Yeah, exactly. So that it just didn't work out. She didn't know that, so she wasn't flirting back. She was confused by I guess my advances.
No, I don't do that.
So what'd you say?
I mean, I was just being nice, like
Okay.
my mom raised me to just be nice to people, like
Right.
just friends. I know how to have male friends. I grew up with male friends.
But when he started flirting,
When
you
he
could tell he
started
was
first-
flirting.
yeah,
What'd you
I could
say?
tell.
What'd you do?
Nothing, I kept it regular.
Okay.
She did.
Because I know that you have in my mind, he may be still with this girl, and I ain't doing that.
Okay.
So immediately I said, I broke up with my girl, so you don't have to be so tight.
Did you add because of you? Because I met.
No,
I met
because
you. You didn't add that.
Trig, you're creating
Because of your
her now.
yellow. Oh no! What did you say? I noticed her in the yellow, bro. I'm gonna rewind the tapes later. You said I noticed her.
I did, but it wasn't because.
So when she came to the table, there was already some electricity. You were like, "Oh, bet she's coming to the
have
table."
you heard her sing?
Of course I have. Okay, all right. I just want to make sure we're on the same page. Okay, all right. So then what happens?
So then, this is hilarious.
Yeah, no.
So then, we ended up talking, and by her birthday, which was January 11th, I told her, you know what, you're my girl.
Yeah.
And
Wait a minute. This is all conversation on IG?
No.
Okay.
We're on the phone by
We
January
gotta
11th.
You're on the
We
phone
gotta
by
get
January.
the-
Okay.
yeah.
We're on the phone by January 11th.
Because she's still in California.
yes.
Yeah.
So you long distance just talking.
So this is right. No. So this is right before COVID. So here's what I did, and this
Okay.
is all God. I don't want anybody to hit me up and start asking crazy questions. But I traveled to California from New York 12 times in 2018 and 2019.
That's 6-hour flight, bro.
Yeah, 12 times.
12 times.
12 times.
Courting.
During COVID.
Yeah.
Doing COVID. Masked up. Hard to breathe. 6 hours on the plane each way.
12 times.
12 times. My bro. Man, where's the air horn? My bad, Max. I got messed up on the joint. Air horns. That's what's up. How did you feel doing that process?
It was a God ride. And for me, it was a big transition because I had came from before him. I was single. I wasn't trying to date nobody. I just purchased my first home on my own. I had a condo, and I was proud of myself. I worked my way up and did all of that, and I'm like, I did it. Wasn't really thinking about nobody, but I was. I wasn't really trying to date because I had been through all of that. When you be dating people and guys that want to be players or whatever, they mess over. It just wasn't right. So I'm like, God gonna send my husband. He gonna send my husband. I'm just gonna take care of me and do what I gotta do. So I did that. And when God presented the opportunity to go to Florida, I didn't know that I was gonna meet my husband out there.
Right.
So when we met, it was just like a whirlwind of greatness. So
2018, you meet, you talking, DMing, you like, I'm gonna come out there, spend some time with you, and then that turns into 11 more trips, and then you guys decide to get married.
And then on her sister's birthday, shout out to Misha. There you go, Misha. Yeah, I said your name. It was her birthday, and I had came to Florida, to California, to the Bay, and I grabbed a ring. I bought a ring. And I told her sister, her mother, and everything. And it was her sister's birthday. And she was like, well, at my birthday party, you can do it. Because she won't think that. Misha's very about herself sometimes. So no one would think that Misha would give up her birthday anything
that was
for
a big
anything
deal.
else.
That was
So,
a big deal.
Yeah, it's very special. The kindest thing she's ever done. So I'm nervous as I don't know what. But I asked her to marry me in California in front of all her family. My family were all on FaceTime. For the moment and things like that. And then I brought her to New York. Then she had to come to New York.
I came to New York and never went back to California.
Sold your house.
I was in New York selling my house.
So you took one flight?
One flight.
One way?
One flight, one way.
Did you know it coming out that you probably wouldn't go back?
I knew it when he didn't buy a returning ticket.
Oh, he was buying the tickets. Gotcha.
Well, you know.
Got hostage tendencies, bro.
No, not at all. Not at all. And the thing.
Now, don't get me wrong. I could have bought my ticket back.
Yeah,
of course, but he didn't make it convenient. It was my point.
I wasn't running away.
And then I flew to New York first class.
Oh yeah, first class.
Like she was comfy.
Air horns, man. Jared's game. I mean, okay, all right, Pastor. I see you. Pastor over here.
Yeah.
First class, one way. That's it.
Yeah.
So now you guys come together, and one of the things you guys have done together, obviously, is Humble Brag Music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What made Humble Brag Music come to life?
So I had the name and the idea, but to be honest, what I didn't realize, and this was all God, like I'm into anime, so Dragon Ball Z is one of my favorites. Like being with Divina, marrying Divina gave me Ultra Instinct. It took me to a whole new level. So while
you said Ultra Instinct?
Ultra Instinct. So that's
Ultra Instinct.
That's currently in the TV version. Goku, the protagonist, is currently his highest level of power.
Gotcha.
They have different levels of
Gotcha.
power. So she added that. So something that was an idea got life because of her.
Wow.
So
how does that make you feel when he says that?
It's beautiful. You see how I'm staring at him, right?
I'm looking at you. Yeah, that's why I asked. I'm like, how does that make you feel?
It's beautiful and all the truth at the same time. Like when we got together, I was like, he's just as musically talented as I am, like gifted, and God gave him an incredible gift, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
So when he had the idea and he was like, we were gonna do it, it wasn't even really a discussion. It was like, okay, this is what we doing.
Right.
Because your music gotta get out, our music gotta get out. I was able to rap. I was happy about that. Because being a gospel singer, I would just be rapping at home. Because I love hip hop. Like for real.
Right.
Because I was born in the hood, raised in the church.
Right.
So when it came to rap, that's why I was so hard on Christian rappers when they came into church, because you're not
had an ear
good.
for it.
Yeah.
I think being born in the hood and raised in the church enables you to see authenticity in a different light, because you're not goofy on either side. Like I can tell a real authentic man of God the same way I can tell a real authentic OG.
Yes.
You're not gonna tell me you put in work on either side and make me believe it.
That's right.
I'm gonna be able to see it.
You can see it.
Your language would tell us if you was outside or not.
Discernment. Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's just the way you walk and the way you talk can tell people if you was outside or not.
Yeah,
so it's easy to tell. So just be you.
Yeah,
just be you. So humble brag. Not to cut you off.
No, please.
But humble brag is just really about humility being one of the key factors of salvation that I personally don't feel like it's talked about enough within the kingdom.
That's hard for Christian hip hoppers to talk about humility. Isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
But that's why it's so important. Like I feel when people meet us, like our peers and things, when they first meet us, some people expect us to be, I think, more grandiose or more braggadocious about our music or our bars.
I mean, bro, your name is Jared AllStar.
But that's the thing. AllStar, because I know you're
it's
about to ask.
It's built in. I mean, listen, if I don't know you, just reading the name, Jared AllStar, this man done told you I'm an all-star. And then your bars are tough. So then when I come to meet you, it's not like you get on the mic and you're like, you know, and you're singing choruses, bro. That's not you. You are bars. You are the Gritty CHH playlist has to have Jared AllStar songs, right? So then when I come to meet you, and then you walking in with a white dashiki with braids. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, how do you expect people to first walk up to you like, oh yes, for sure, he's approachable? You know what I'm saying? They're not sure.
I want everyone to know we're very approachable.
Yeah, but there's nothing in there that says that until you talk to them.
That's a good point.
The all-star part. The all-star part is about they follow the star to Christ.
Right.
So it's that's just about being a light, and we all can be stars. I want everybody to know that we can all be those light, those beacons.
All-Star Decoded, everyone. This is All-Star Decoded. You too can be an all-star.
Lead someone to Christ. That's what makes you a star. But I think the way we carry and present ourselves is just because we both came up how we did, and she was around the touring all the time and all that stuff. We picked up different things of professionalism. Like, we know there's a way to present yourself.
Sure.
And to carry yourself in that way. So I think that's how that comes across. But once you sit down, like even this conversation right now and talk to us, it's not.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't have any of that. But I can see how the dashiki.
Thank you for acknowledging.
With the braids.
The whole thing leading up to that moment does not set anybody up.
I can't see the slight intimidation that might be there.
Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging that moment. Yeah, thank you. So what do y'all want to do with Humble Brag? Like, and maybe even start for 2024. If you look back and said, this is one or two things we're really proud of with Humble Brag music, what would that be for 24?
I think for Humble Brag, one of the biggest things, Lyra.
Yeah, Lyra is a big thing.
Lyra is a big thing.
So real quick, because I know you're interviewing Lyra next anyway, and she's not going to tell this story, so I can.
Thank you.
What happened with Lyracy was this. My sister passed away from cancer.
Sorry.
Last year.
Hear that.
At the height, I guess people say of our year, we were doing a lot, and my sister passed away, and we got a word from Mike Peace's wife. Prophetess Peace is an amazing person,
Wonderful.
and she was like, "You lost your sister." We didn't tell her. She prophesied this to me. You lost your sister, but God has given you a new one. And I've been calling Lyra my little sister for 2 months since then. And Lyra's so in tune with the spirit that she did something that a lot of people don't do with us. That's why I understand the approachable thing. And she approached us.
Yeah.
And she was obedient to God, and she said, You're supposed to be my mentor, and I'm going to be your mentee. And that has been so fulfilling on more than just a musical level, on a personal level, because of who she is. Like she's such. Her and her husband are incredible people in the gospel.
Yeah.
They're serious about the Lord. Like, they don't play when it comes to God, and we love that. But at the same time, they can be very relaxed.
Yeah, that's good.
Because a lot of people are uptight in the gospel sometimes. But they can be very relaxed, too. So that's just a bond that we cherish, and that's definitely one of my favorite things coming out of 2024.
How about you? Oh, you did start with her. Okay, all right.
She's
Kind of,
that.
you know. Another thing for Humble Brag coming out of 2024. Well, I think a lot of it. Well, Jared has so many.
I'm about to say, how about the projects? I think
Yeah,
with
it's the projects.
9 projects.
It's the projects.
Wow.
The projects has been the best part of Humble Brag. Like we're able, you know, we have been able through everything that we've been, you know, throughout the whole year, been able to put out music.
Yeah.
Like God has just been downloading, and we've been writing, and music has been coming, and it's like, thank you, Lord. It's thank you, Lord. So the albums, you have what? Born in the Hood, Raised in the Church. He had Acknowledge Him
with Brinson.
Shout
out to God.
Yes,
less is more.
And that was all within a 3-month time.
That's nice work.
Yeah,
you two did together.
Yeah, less is more was September with Jared Hicks, and then it was Acknowledge Him,
and then Acknowledge Him, and then the other one. And this year, we're just gonna say it. Davina's album is coming. Like,
oh, nice.
I'm working on my album.
Nice.
Now.
The first lady about to come out.
Davina, and we're very excited about that. Like, and when I say we, I mean everyone. Like, anybody who knows us is excited. They want to submit beats. They want to know if they can feature on it.
Have you guys started recording yet?
We have.
And a lot of collabs on that between you two, right? On the...
No.
Nah, are you on one song yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No, okay.
Not yet.
No.
And it's because, like, on his albums, I'm usually on, like, 1 or 2 songs on his album.
Right.
On every album, almost. But except for Water and Wine. But
because you weren't there.
I know.
So you could say, you of course could say no, but I would love y'all to do a little piece together. Like, just a little acapella piece. Give them a little something if y'all are up to it.
Okay.
Something y'all do.
In my father's house are many mansions. If it wasn't so, then he would have told us. I used to be a man of many passions. Started feeling myself, looking like I'm gold dust. Speaking of, you don't want the streets made of gold. Mr. Yellow Brick Road, being scared, eating crow. Stop lying. We've been trying to be strong forever. There's no place like home. Let's heal together. We say it 3 times for the Father, Son. You know the Spirit. I hope you know the word. More than you know a lyric. There's verses and there's verses. Some don't know the difference. Some won't even make it because of their unforgiveness. 70 times 70, ideology. That's at least 490 apologies. Honestly, I probably owe a few. I'm sorry, Jesus. It's only right I start with you. I apologize to myself, too.
In my father's house are many mansions. I used to think the goal was living in the Hamptons or buy a cabin. Mama used to take us camping, but heaven must be better than we could imagine. I'm tired all these dying and crying. Sounds like communion, how we whining and dining. But we keep Jesus with us at every table. Please pass the butter. Ain't never know when it's your last supper. I heard Glory got the best manner. Talking to myself when I rap, I'm the next Hannah. I'ma give it all to God. Life's not the Ferris wheel, but it's worth the ride. Lord, please forgive me for my sins. Pray we pull up to the gate and get in. I don't need my name to be up in lights. I just need my name in the book of life.
Check it.
The only time that my name's spelled right.
Check it. Check it. In my father's house are many mansions.
They don't make emojis for how I'm reacting.
Sin is a verb. Forgive us for our actions.
All of me to all of you, I'm not good at fractions. Half the time they just want to show.
But this is no performance if you didn't know. You should already know the play. This a give and go.
It's impossible to reap what you didn't sow.
We're going back to Eden. Ain't no snake hissing.
I hope it's me and all my loved ones like it's Thanksgiving.
When Jesus in the room, ain't a saint sitting.
I bet my womb start jumping like it's Blake Griffin.
In my father's house are many mansions.
I used to think the goal was living in the Hamptons.
I used to be a man of many passions.
But heaven must be better than we could imagine. Welcome to my father's house. Let's see what happens.
Man, come on, family. Come on, family. What? Come on, family. You said jumping like Blake. You've transitioned to CHH well.
Yeah, very well.
The transition is going well.
Yeah, the thing is, though, thank you. It wasn't really hard to transition.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I was born in the hood, so I would go to church and I'd be singing in choirs. I grew up in choirs and singing in groups and stuff like that. But when I went home and when I was outside and I was in school, it was parties and you know what I'm saying, and hip hop and stuff like that. Like I used to throw parties outside of church. You know, when I was in the hood, it was something for the kids to do
Right.
that wasn't too bad, and they wasn't, you know. So I used to throw parties and things like that. So when it came to hip hop, I was already in it.
Yeah.
I was already in it, and to know that I will be able to use that part of my heart, you know, and gospel was beautiful.
Like I'm already here. I'm just stepping across the street.
Because the thing is, and I've always told God this, I'm like, if I am going to be on a stage doing something, it's going to be for Him.
Yeah.
I don't feel comfortable doing secular music because I can't, you know, especially at the time I wasn't married, so I couldn't be like, oh baby. It wasn't for me.
Right.
But I can talk about my love for God all day.
Yeah. So you got your album coming up. What else is next for Humble Brag?
Every AllStar weekend for the past 2 years, I've been doing Jared AllStar Weekend, which is to be a
which makes you so accessible. Once again, the magnanimousness, if that's a word, it's now a word. The magnanimousness.
So this year for AllStar Weekend, I'll be dropping 3 singles, a few visuals,
Nice.
Maybe an interview or something.
Nice.
Just because it's All-Star Weekend and it feels right. But the real purpose of Jared All-Star Weekend is, you know, to be a star, you got to lead someone to Christ.
Right.
Amen.
So
Amen.
that's the mission. Next year, it's going to be an even bigger event, though. We're looking to do a Christian hip-hop all-star game.
Yeah.
Have a basketball game.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Do a draft of people
Nice.
in the field. Like, we're setting that up right now.
That's
I can
nice.
let you know.
Speaking of drafts, if someone wants to be on Humble Brag Music, how do you approach that? New artists come to you about being on. I mean, once they get up the gumption to come talk to you, and they say, I want to be on Humble Brag Music. What's that like? What's that process like?
Well, you know, once you ask, then we immediately go into prayer.
Yeah.
We immediately seek God on to if this is a fit, if there's anything we actually can help this person with, because the artist development side is so big for us. You know, someone who understands that we have a lot of experience.
Right.
And it's always important to share. I feel like a lot of people don't share a lot.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, once again, shout out to Brinson that he did when we got into space. He shared a lot of wisdom with us.
Hey, Brinson.
Right. And we look to return that with other people. So if there's something that we have to give to them.
Yes.
And also if they live by the scripture, like my soul will make her boast in the Lord. The humble shall hear thereof and be glad.
That's good.
When you're rapping, if the boast should be about God.
Yeah.
It could be as well done or as well said as you want it to be.
Right.
But just make sure it's not I am the great and it's God is great.
Right.
And then we can talk.
That's good. Yeah. So after watching cartoons and cooking, managing Humble Brag, how do you balance all this for your responsibilities as a pastor and first lady?
Well, we are actually launching our church, our ministry that God gave us this year, Humble Fellowship. We will. We are actually in the place where we're looking for a location on Long Island to fully establish that.
That's good.
And it's not easy.
Now the phone doesn't stop ringing.
In what sense?
In the way, like, ministry never stops.
Right.
Ever.
So the balance of it is we have to lean on God for all of it.
Yeah.
He's the balance being.
That's good.
You know. So we when he says go, we go. When he says chill, we chill.
I think it's important that her and I are not just married, but we're like best friends too.
Yeah.
So that enables us to have moments, even in the midst of all of the ministry, to like laugh and enjoy certain things and have our little inside jokes because we really enjoy spending time with each other.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny because you've been married. This is year 4 or 5, right? You got married in 2021?
Yeah, 2021. This is 4.
Year 4, right? And when I've observed you guys, it seems like you've been married for a long time. Like we 26 years in, my wife and I, right? And so when I say thank you, when I see you guys, you look like a couple who've just been there for a minute with each other. And so when I read that it was that fresh, that was inspiring because that means a lot of things. That means, one, God is in the center of it. Yeah. In my humble opinion, you know what I mean? And God is in the center of it. And 2, that you actually enjoy each other. A lot of times when you're talking to married people and their spouse comes up, there's not happy faces sometimes.
I want to say one of our favorite things, this is important for the interview, that happened in Christian hip hop. And I thank God for allowing us to kind of be in that place, is a lot of men are including their wives in their ministries.
I'm with you on that. Amen. Amen.
And I'm not trying to take credit.
Amen.
I'm just grateful God put us in a place to help, I feel like, spearhead that move. Like, more wives are getting involved in their husbands' ministries as far as hip hop goes. They're on the reels. They're putting them on songs and stuff like never before. We're seeing it a lot.
Shout
now.
out to my wife. I don't think there's almost anything in here outside of that mixing board, maybe, and maybe that table. Anything else in this office and whatnot, she pretty much picked out or approved if I picked it.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for the chairs, wife.
Right? She picked out the chairs.
job.
She does the Legos, all the Legos. She does all of them. They're all throughout the building. Like,
so
so I'm with you on that. And that makes, for those who are, seeking how to, we say happy wife, happy life. Nah, it's more than that. Happy wife, happy husband, happy God, right? And then we stand submitted. It means a lot. You dig what I'm saying? And so that obedience and that ability to say, man, we're yoked.
We also don't listen to the caveat that everybody gives when it comes to marriage. Like, you're gonna have times where you're just tired of each other. Like, I mean, we're human. We get it. You know, you get upset or something like that. But wanting to take a break from my wife, like I can't be around her, is not something.
Not an option.
I can see happening.
What we found when we were still fresh in our marriage, but a lot of people, when they found out we're newly married, like to give us advice, unsolicited, unsolicited, but we're not like. We're not 15 getting married. We're not 18 getting married. You know, we're in our 30s. So we've kind of been through things. So a lot of immaturity and immature stuff was thrown out the window.
Right.
You know, was never even brought to the table because that's not us. You know, so things were wiped out. But yeah.
It's interesting when you to find each other and be able to come together so quickly, because sometimes what you hear from people is right, as you age, you're more set in your ways, and it's that much harder to come together with someone.
And no offense, and that's why y'all single.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't when the word says, you know, marry lest your flesh burn, you know. So if you're in a place where, because it's better for us to be by ourselves, we're closer to God that way. If you can stay single, but then also don't have sex, and that's a whole nother discussion.
That's right.
Figure that one out.
That's right.
But if you have these desires and you want to find somebody you're evenly yoked with, then in that case, y'all now, it's a full two becomes one, so that way God still has that relationship with you both.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not at the stage where you understand that takes compromise, that takes a little bending and growing, you can't get to a place where you're afraid to grow or don't think you have growth that needs to be obtained or willing to compromise with the person that you're now one with.
Yeah.
To make that unity actual unity instead of two people just doing their thing and saying that together.
Yeah, that's good. What's you know, I'm sure there's people watching who enjoy both the story, the journey, the coming together, and that you guys are building an entity, humble brag and whatnot. If someone's watching and saying, "Man, I'm kind of stuck as an artist and trying to move forward. I'm kind of stuck some of my life stuff." What do you two advise? Let's start with the first part on the artist journey. I'm stuck. What do you say to them?
I mean, if you're stuck, I don't know where you stuck at. You know, if it's stuck in writing, if it's like I don't see any movement anywhere, you have to kind of reevaluate what's around you, what's going on. You know, maybe something needs to move. You know, go to God first, pray about it. Seek him and ask him. He'll reveal it to you. Things will start happening, and whether you like it or not, things will start happening, and you'll have to deal with it at that point. But you just still have to be active in trying to pray and really. I don't like saying figure it out because we can't figure everything out, you know. But consistency, and prayer, and watching, and listening. To God and to what's around you, and you'll see the open doors. It may be even cracked, but you know it's there.
That's right.
You know,
the crazy part is we just had this discussion with Lyra and Euro on the way here. Is at the end of the day, you gotta ask God if you're called to this too.
Yeah.
Because this is respectfully, there are artists in the space who were not called to be rappers. So it's just like there are preachers who weren't called to be preachers or pastors, and
absolutely,
like understanding what God has called you to is so important, because you also could just be getting involved into something for ego purposes, for lack of a better way to express yourself, and not necessarily what you're called to do.
That's good. That's good. Where should folks tap in with y'all to stay up on our accessible brother Jared AllStar and Lady Divina? Where should they tap in?
Accessible.
We have our website, www.humblebragmusic.com. You can look up all our music and things there. You can contact us on there too. That's our email. That's one of the best ways to actually get to Humble Brag is through our website and our contact page. Other than that, Instagram, Facebook, we're on all the social media platforms.
She's at It's Lady Beans.
Yes.
I am Jared AllStar with 2 R's. And I just realized maybe I'm not so accessible, because you can also contact me through Jared Hicks, my brother and producer.
Got you.
He sets up a lot of my songs.
Oh, got you.
So a lot of my collaborations do come through Jared
That's
Hicks.
just a professional path you want people to follow. Yes.
That's sweet. That's true, though. It's true.
Absolutely.
It's
Hey,
true.
you got to manage that.
So
Shout out to
Jared, the
Jared.
producer, on Instagram. I am Jared AllStar, the rapper, I guess. And because I'm not a rapper, y'all.
Yeah,
I just
that's
have
what's
to
up,
rap.
man.
You just
Thank
be
y'all
rapping.
for coming down. Next
Thank
time you
you.
come, because there will be a next time, you're going to bring some.
You on the peach cobbler
Yeah, we're
pound
gonna bring
cake?
some
Oh,
wings.
did you
and a
say peach cobbler?
Yes.
Peach cobbler pound cake.
Max, she said peach cobbler pound cake, bro.
Max said yes.
We
He gave a
about
thumbs
yes,
up.
indeed.
If Marcus is watching right now, he is co-signing the peach cobbler.
Cobbler pound cake. Lord have mercy. All right. Thank y'all for coming. Until next time, man. Bless y'all.